We are live.
Another edition of the Dugout, but this one is very special. It's special because, lo and behold, we are just a sleep away from the start of a test match. And for some of us who would often complain that too much cricket, can't tell you how relieved I am feeling that cricket is starting, that from tomorrow we will finally have some action. And it is going to be special because it's red ball cricket after that. Personally, enjoy that more than anything. It is something about a test match morning, and even though we would get romantic about test matches in England and Australia, it's a test match at home and it's a test match versus Bangladesh, yet can't hold our excitement because cricket is coming back after a long time. It's the start of a busy season for India, a season where they're going to be playing how many?
10 tests.
10.
Yeah, 10 test matches including the WTC final.
11 including that.
11. Then you're playing close to 9 T20Is and 3 ODIs.
3 ODIs. But
Four-
ODIs happen only in
Yeah.
2025.
And a Champions Trophy.
And a Champions Trophy, yep.
So a lot coming your way.
8 months, I mean, next 10 months if you had to look at it, starting from September 19 to tests.
August 2025 is what you said in the morning wrap. That
Yeah, you've
non-stop
got a very
beginning
busy
action.
schedule
Yeah.
because 2 tests plus 3 T20Is versus Bangladesh until October. Then you got New Zealand 3 tests. Then you got 4 T20Is versus South Africa, sandwiched between that and the BGT. PGT from November to January. Then you got 5 T20Is and 3 ODIs versus England. So actually the number is 3 plus 4, it's 12 T20Is, not 7. 12 T20Is, 3 ODIs against England, Champions Trophy, IPL, World Test Championship, 5 tests versus England.
Okay, in short, a busy season coming up. We are very excited and I hope you can join us and give us company in our coverage, which will start from tomorrow and go on till at least the WTC final and all of that happens in the middle. Siddharth has just told you that will include an IPL as well and a Champions Trophy, so on and so forth. So, by the way, before we get into today's discussion, also a reminder, we're going to be live at 8:45 a.m. tomorrow, which is Thursday, which is the start of the test series. So join us for a pre-match coverage where we will of course have the toss, the playing 11 and building up in general. And of course, you know, if you've been a regular subscriber, you know that during a test match, we also have the lunch program and then the tea time and then post-match session as always. Dugout will be taking a break because on test match day, especially at test matches that are played at home, there is no dugout in the evening because our final show is like our dugout, which is going to happen around 5 p.m. roughly each day.
Yeah, 4:30. But the first part, ऐसे बोला कान तरस गए थे सुनना. 8:45 a.m. we'll be live. 9:30 toss, 11:30 the lunch break and all. 7 months ago, that was when we had said it. India England. 7 months ago. February,
Dharamshala?
March. Yes, Dharamshala. That was the last time we had said it.
And the last time we had said it, we got a lot of love from all of you. We saw our subscriber base go up a lot, and a lot of you used to join us for our live programs. So we saw a healthy viewership during that test series. Here's hoping that we get you back on excited for the upcoming series. So let's start without further ado. Today the coach in Gautam Gambhir came. Who did the video for that?
I did the video for that.
Give us some salient points as to the big 2 or 3.
Okay.
Shashwat failed badly yesterday.
No, I was able to give them, but I wasn't able to
He was so
give.
obsessed with just KL Rahul that all points were only that. He missed the major point.
Yeah. So basically, when you look at it, the first major point was that it's all but certain that Sarfaraz and Dhruv Jurel are not going to start. That he reconfirmed it again. He now is very, very happy that now it's good we are focusing on bowlers. We have been batting obsessed for far too long. That's why now bowlers, in particular Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, Ashwin, Jadeja have all made bowling the X factor in India at this point. As far as pitches are concerned, they asked like, how do you think the pitch will behave? He said that, see, if a test match gets over in South Africa in 2 days,
yeah.
you don't talk about that much. Why should we talk about this? So that's why it will
So
be.
is he telling us he'll get over in 2 days?
He didn't say that. The question was on the nature
Here
of the
we
pitches.
are building up for test match. Wow, excited. 2 days later, the programming will be over.
No.
No, but it
In
doesn't
that
look
case,
like
by
that
the
for
way,
the whole
if-
season.
No, I'm just asking because he's set
No,
the
If that's
base.
anything to go by, I think I'm going to be attending, this whole series for a totality of maybe 2 days.
Let's not get started on this. Your BGT stands out as one of the greatest ever. Whenever he used to come back, the test match was over.
Test match was over by the time I had come back. And Siddharth ensured that I don't appear on the first 2 days.
You felt ill.
Just the one test.
Thank you for that. But you didn't miss much. It was a feather bed. And I don't think, carrying on from that, I don't think Chennai will be that kind of.
Yeah. It
That's
doesn't
why I
look
think
like
you
that.
may not have a 2-day or a 3-day test match. Even though the red soil content
4-day
and all
test
that. Yes, that much I feel, because I think India play quickly, they take wickets far more regularly. That is why I think stretching it to the 5th day will be a big thing if that happens.
But 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. 4 days.
So
Okay,
till Sunday.
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
But that's not because of the wicket, that's because of the quality of the sides that are competing against
Yes,
each other.
yes. And there is, I had done another thing, that rain is forecast in Chennai, but the disclaimer is it will happen after the day's play, in the night time.
What days though?
All days. On the 4 days, it will rain after the day's play is over, in the night time.
Retreating.
Yeah.
So that means quite a lot of moisture, a lot of juice. Of course, the pitch will be covered, but it does help the conditions that if it's raining. Anyway, we are getting to know it's a red soil pitch, which kind of helps fast bowlers. It is also good for batting. It's got good bounce. So if you play your shots, you got a lot of runs. So a good pitch coming your way. That's the first bit. So these are the major points.
These are the 3 major points that has happened. And yeah, our batting, especially when you talk about the spin thing, our batting has enough class to tackle any spin unit. That was the other major thing, because it was said in the backdrop of India's struggles against spin.
Against spin, yeah.
But will they really be tested against any spin unit? Because if reports are to be believed, it will be a nice juicy track where at least till the first 3 odd days, it's going to be for the fast bowlers and batters, which means spinners only come into play in 4 and 5, but 5 to your saying match may not last only. So one day, which is why don't be surprised if India goes in with 3 fast bowlers. At least I thought they will, but I was outvoted by Shashwat and Harshit, who thought 3 spinners and 2 fast bowlers.
No, but looking at the wicket today, I wouldn't be surprised if they go in with
changed
3.
your mind?
Yeah, I just saw the wicket. Yeah, the wicket I saw today, it looks really hard. It has that, it has that
it's interesting.
shine on it. You can sort of see that it's going to be a belter.
I was looking into the comments of the Bangladesh coach yesterday, and he said, and he used the word which we very often use here in our studio, that is, he expects the wicket to be spotting. That's being said about this wicket, but nobody is ruling out the possibility of spin having its say in the latter half of the test match. So that's number 1. Number 2, if we are to look at how that England series was also, how that England series panned out, the wickets, clearly the last, barring the first test match, I would say, the other wickets were much more truer and spotting. I don't think none of those would qualify besides Hyderabad as a non-spotting wicket. So I feel even if those were sporting wickets and that's where we saw 2 fast bowlers plus 3 spinners, I expect the same to happen for those reasons over here. Also, you have to go back a long way. I think 2021 maybe the last time when Bangladesh was
Yeah, the ping ball test match, that was the last time.
2019, the last time you played 3 pacers was against Bangladesh also.
But that is the example that you're giving for the England series. I think there's been another change in the mindset. At least that is what I can read.
So more sporting than what we saw in
not sporting, as I'm saying, more tilting towards pace bowlers than spinners. So there it was probably a fine line, but you were still going with more spinners. I have a feeling, and that's why I said even when the Duleep Trophy is happening, I don't think it was a coincidence that you gave those kind of pitches.
Yeah.
I think it was keeping in mind the season ahead. So you've had a few changes in your coach, your mindset, how India is going to be looking. Also, you've mentioned earlier also the opposition. So maybe against an England you would not, but against Bangladesh should be more inclined to
nullify.
There's no right or wrong answer. Well, that's just my estimate. Not from now, but for the last 1 week or so.
Also,
the kind of signs I was saying in terms of team selection, in terms of the Duleep Trophy pitches, in terms of what surface has been left now, all of it pointing in a good pitch. So I won't be surprised if they play 3 fast bowlers.
Also at that point, I remember the wickets were still the kind of wicket that we are seeing in Chennai at this point. Firstly, there I think all of the wickets were black soil only, most of them. Red soil. And you saw those cracks on those wickets. They weren't this kind of hard, and the shine wasn't there that much. This wicket absolutely looks really different. It looks like a more for a one day or a T20-ish wicket by the look of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you go in with 3 fast bowlers, and that could be your team's plan.
And coming back to what the Bangladesh coach also said, he said that it's difficult to comment right now whether we go with a spin heavy or a pace heavy attack. They also have decent pacers now, Bangladesh.
Nahid Rana
is there. There is Tuskin as well. So they make for a good.
Left one, Shoreful, who's not come.
No, there's this other fast bowler, I'm just forgetting his name at this point, who did really well in Pakistan also. Again a youngster. He picked 4 wickets in the second. I'm not able to recall his name.
So point being, even he said yesterday that it's a little early for us to comment because it does look like a good wicket which has something for both pacers and spinners. But however, we want to judge the wicket on the day of the match and then maybe take a call. Right now, it's because with India as well, that's the only hole that you can talk about right now in the playing 11. Right now there's just a question mark whether you're playing a third seamer in Akashdeep or Yash Dayal, or is it Kuldeep. That's the only thing that you don't know about the 11.
Hassan Mahmood.
Hassan Mahmood.
Yeah, Hassan Mahmood. Yeah. He's not that quick, but
skitty.
No, but I'm saying the coach saying that even if he's decided, he's not going to come and say.
I'm saying for India also, that's the only thing that you're looking at there being unknown right now.
That's the major thing, I know, but that is the big thing. Right? Well, it just completely changes the way the test match will pan out.
True.
If you're playing 3 fast bowler or a spinner. But the last time you had a red soil pitch, it backfired. You lost in Chennai to England. And next test match, you got a black
soil. Ravichandran Ashwin picks up what?
He scores 100 and takes a 5-wicket fall.
And takes 9, I think,
he takes 9.
cumulatively.
He's got 30 wickets in Chennai.
17, I think of the 20 wickets of England that fell, 17 went to spinners.
Yes.
Okay, that takes me to another question before we get into the other nitty-gritties of the day. Is it Tata's last test match at his home?
Asking
a question.
I would say yes. Because I don't know, looking at how many times Chennai gets a test. It's been 3 years since they last got it.
Yeah, so again, just so that everyone knows, you're in 2024. By rotation, it should be 7. 2027.
By that time, he would be 40.
41.
Yeah,
he's 38.
38. So
if Chennai gets another test, will be roughly, we don't know, it should be 2027. At which point he will be 41. Now it can be
41. No, I think you might see him play for the last time in Chepauk. Because he will take a call on his
Test cricket.
future. Yeah, Test cricket. After the 2025
WT.
No, but he can play for his franchise.
Indian
and
cricket.
TNPL.
TNPL, this Ranji Trophy.
But TNPL.
That though he can come back at 50 and play a corporate match. That he can have a club match. That does not count. India. Playing for India.
So,
is he playing for India last time at the Chepauk?
I say yes. He is for 2 simple reasons. One, the rotation policy that is there, we don't know how many tests Chennai will get. Maybe an Australia tour here in 27, 28, maybe that's the time you may get a test. You may, because who knows, there may be...
No, I'm saying assuming it is in 27.
Still, I think he'll take a call on his future after the 2025 WTC final. Because I don't think he will want new spinners to come in. He'll want to ensure that...
But you should also have more spinners, na?
You already have more spinners, plus unlike a fast bowler, he's a spinner, he can carry on. The other thing is, there is a record that he has, obviously would want to break. The highest wicket taker for India is about 110
away. Yeah.
110 away from Anil Kumble's 600 something, and he's on 500 something. So there is that record.
See, this series he's playing his 100th test. Okay, 99 will be at 100th will be in Kanpur. Okay.
Imagine if 100 would have been at home ground. No?
Oh.
I wish, because
if you had played him in the WTC final, then it would have been the 100.
I know.
That's actually the time that we, goofed up on whether there should be a spinner or a seam bowler.
Yeah.
No, we goofed up twice, both WTCs.
Both WTCs.
Once you played an extra spinner, once you didn't.
Yes.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Okay, so he's not playing. Bhai,
I find it hard to think of a scenario that he plays another test match. Again, going by rotation, going by how you try and give every state association an opportunity to hold a test match, to host a test match. And now there are new venues that have now popped up as well. So you're looking
no,
at...
I'm saying 2027 there, Chennai is hosting it. Now answer.
3 years from now.
Yeah, all that I've put already. Ashwin is 41, next test match in Chepauk, is he playing or not?
No.
I think he might just play that test match
Why do you
also.
think?
I feel so that firstly the reason that he just loves the game so much, and that's very clear, that's very evident. It's not just because of the reason that he talks about the game so much, it's also that it's very evident because any game, it would be a club game also, he'd go out and play that game. So I feel he would definitely, and fitness isn't an issue with him as of now. So, and as a spinner also, you just keep...
Fitness is an issue, by the way. He's
It
had a
is.
few injuries.
Yeah, but I feel...
Knee is also troubled.
And as a spinner also, I feel like in a batsman, you sort of lose that hand-eye coordination. Fast bowlers, your body starts to give up. In spin, I feel the more you sort of the more you keep on bowling, you just keep on getting better and better. And in the next 3 years, I don't see any new off spinner coming in place of Ashwin. If there was somebody pushing in the underground circuit or in the domestic, under 19 for that matter, it would have been a different case. But because there is nobody else.
What is an underground circuit?
I mean to say that domestic
I was
circuit.
like, it's a hidden thing where underground activities are. No, interesting that he points out about the age because there are examples of 40. I mean, Rajinder Goyal and Paddy Shivalkar and all played till.
Praveen Tambe started
much.
playing.
Praveen
after
Tambe
him.
started
That was
playing
not international.
Kumble
cricket.
continued
No, but
till
still.
39, is it? Anil Kumble.
Yeah.
What about...
2008 he
what about...
Yeah,
In Delhi.
Yeah.
He was 30.
Herat? Rangana Herat?
Also,
And
There are
30,
37, 38.
he
Not
must,
later than that.
no.
Samuel Badri also played till very late.
But Badri isn't a test bowler. Na?
Piyush Chawla said that I can play for 4 to 5 more
But
years.
Piyush is younger than Virat Kohli.
He's saying that he told Prithvi Shaw that I'll play with your son also. I'm still this fit.
if he can, why not?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
But
that
he's
spinners.
right. He's not that old. Just because he came into the circuit
Yeah.
as a youngster, the 16-year-old, then you start thinking that. But
Exactly.
he's young that way. Again, I think with Ashwin, will he be motivated to play? Of course he would be. Would he be gunning for the record to break Anil Kumble's record? Of course he would be. Why not? Anyone who started playing cricket would be gunning for that. He's come so close. He's the fastest to 50, 100, 150, 200, 250.
350 also.
300,
50 is he?
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, that's ODI in which the chief selector is.
Yeah.
Everything
no,
he is
yeah.
fastest.
Yeah.
So he's fastest in every bit. So if he can scale that, why not? So he'll be motivated enough. I think the other good point that Shashwat makes is there's not really anyone pushing him. That makes a big difference. If there was another off spinner coming, unless Himanshu
Nathan Lyon.
Sharma.
Himanshu
Nathan
Singh.
Lyon for Indian team, yaar.
Singh,
When Nathan
Singh.
Lyon play for
But 2-3 years from now, are we
No, I'm
that
saying for now.
skeptical about
Himanshu Singh.
us
right
not
now,
being...
I am talking about now.
True,
How
true,
do I
true.
know?
But again, around that time...
Himanshu Sharma becomes
Singh,
this prodigy. Himanshu Singh becomes this prodigy who's amazing.
No, I talked to somebody today regarding him.
So he's
in
the
detail.
next prodigy.
No, but he's not it's not just about that, it's not just about the fact that he just bowls like Ashwin, there's much more to it. It's not just that fact.
Of course, he's been called into the nets. It cannot be just because you are imitating his action.
Yeah.
No. So I'm saying the advantage is nobody's pushing him for a spot. No, who's
Even
to say
Sundar's stocks have dipped.
No,
Sundar.
Sundar is not the same.
Koi quality is in,
off-spinner.
yeah.
Sundar is a very good batter. in test.
But it's not like
Sundar
that.
is not
yeah.
the off spinner in test match cricket who can run through opposition like a Harbhajan Singh could, like a Ravichandran Ashwin could. He's not that. So is nobody really pushing him. I mean, so that's the other thing. But I think his biggest challenge, all of those things are in favor. His biggest challenge is going to be his fitness. He's had a lot of issues.
There
He's
is an off
spoken
spinner
about
though
it.
who doesn't
He's
get talked
had
about in red ball cricket.
his knee.
Ravi Bishnoi.
Harshit, your PJs, please.
No, and with again, I feel like I mentioned with batters, suddenly within a year, your hand-eye coordination can dip drastically. So that can go against you. Even if you want to, even if you're fit, you cannot do that.
No.
Fast bowlers also same thing. In spinners, I don't think that's the problem.
You see, the problem is India because of this WTC cycle, you've got 3 home, 3 away. He's not a certainty in away tests. Okay.
All the more reason for him to play more.
Time also. That further eats up on his time.
But all the more reason for him to stay because he'll just play the home test matches. I feel he's not going anywhere.
Because he will get a very heavy workload in home matches. If the pitches are going to be truer, if it's not going to be ranked turners, he's going to get a heavier workload, and that will take a toll on.
So that takes me to the next question. Anyway, all of us have answered. It seems like highly unlikely that he'd be able to play another test match at Chepauk. At the moment, of course, there are chances he could, but I think the overwhelming opinion here is that, other than Shashwat's, that he's most likely be playing his last test match at home. 41, playing a test match for India. It'd be amazing if he can keep himself fit. If he can keep himself fit, I think he has a serious chance. If fitness is an issue,
Motivation isn't an issue.
No.
Just the physical well-being is.
Yeah, but taking to the next question, does he then go past Kumble's record or not? Considering he's not playing till 41, playing till 40 then?
Yeah.
So that's 2 years.
Will be a close thing, but I think he's not.
Also, given the line that you're willing to take now, spotting wickets, red soil, even venues that have traditionally had black soils, you're willing to go ahead and change the surface over there. You're trying to enable your fast bowlers much more. You're looking at a change of scene as far as Indian bowling is concerned. In that scenario, I think it becomes tougher than for him to pick wickets
but that might change for New Zealand series. No? This for Bangladesh, we prepare this pitch. New Zealand come.
No, but I don't
But
think that
again,
it's
if you're
only
planning for the future, I doubt.
I think after the few experiences you've had in the past, I don't think you're going to those 2-day pitches.
But I don't think that he's going past that record. But apart from that, there's this perception about Ashwin in general. Also, I remember during the England series also this was there, that as soon as you're getting truer wickets, Ashwin isn't that effective. But that's because of the reason that he ran through attacks when he batting lineups that were there when you were playing on such wickets. But again, I feel that it's not about the quality. I think he is a quality bowler. Even in the England series, he had this one
even on a truer wicket, he got a 5-wicket haul.
Yeah.
500 test wickets you cannot get.
Exactly. I remember the time that Zach Crawley was going gung-ho, and who's the one who got you the breakthrough? It was Ashwin, who then gets the dismissal with the fielder at
mid-on, if I'm
not mid-on. The fielder was short leg. He
And
tried to sweep, found the man at short leg.
He was preparing for the WTC final also. He had started preparing months in advance. It's your fault you didn't play him on that final.
And he's not even that experimental in red ball cricket as he was in white ball cricket.
Though he comes up with plans there also. Steve Smith.
But they are not
they're
not so
Yeah,
bizarre.
he can give you leg spin, he can give you off spin, he can give you
No, that he
carom.
started doing a lot in white ball cricket, and that I think was a reason for his dip in white ball cricket also.
But I see again, do you blame him because where white ball cricket was going, where bowlers were like lambs to slaughter, what would he do? You have to look at solutions. Yes, I mean it's easy for us, where everything nowadays with the bat, miss hits also, what can a spinner do? Deceive a batter. You deceive a batter also, but if he's swung the bat, top edge also is going
But
for
I
sixes.
think he had that much quality that he could have
No,
because
there's
he
a
was
debate.
doing 10 in an over, he was bowling 6 different deliveries. That anyways will not work out.
No, there's criticism.
There was this time he tried bowling from behind the stumps as well, right?
That he does in test cricket also at times.
All of that, there was criticism. All
Leg
that,
spin, side arm,
there was-
around the wicket, over, everything he did in that time.
Shanna, revolutionary. Whatever way you look at it, he's a revolutionary.
But it didn't work, na Sidvi sir.
It worked to a certain extent, it did, but didn't get that Ashwin-esque results that you would want it to be.
No, the time he was playing for Delhi, he wasn't doing all of this.
For Delhi, which thing works? Let me
No,
tell you.
but he was not doing all of this, so he was a good prospect for Delhi.
He held up economy. That
Yeah.
was the best thing that he could do, and that worked for Delhi.
Yeah.
In the middle overs, he and Akshar Patel formed that deadly economical duo that ensured the opponents would be chokeholded. But apart from that, when you look at it, what else has worked for Delhi? Nothing.
It's not about that.
Prithvi Shaw has.
Really?
Did you see what I sent yesterday?
Don't get carried away.
Don't get carried away.
What batting, but
Exactly.
when he is on flow, na Prithvi Shaw. I mean, you feel sad because a man of his talent
Yeah.
has really not done justice to that talent. So those highlights yesterday. I mean, when he's on flow. Oh my God,
Just
those shots.
Class
There was
apart.
this one straight drive. that
Yeah,
he hit.
yeah.
Oh God, it's gorgeous.
I'm not going to drool over any of
Gorgeous.
that.
No, see, you cannot take that away from them.
Yes, I'm not. But it can
Back
happen
foot
for.
punch, I saw batter
I'm fine with
playing
what's
the back
happening
foot
in.
punch.
It's like
I'm
it's
happy
like-
for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's not exactly apple to apple comparison, but it's like K. Rahul. Some people may not like him, but aesthetically, sometime when he bats, you can't take that away. Yes, you can question him for his results, intent, whatever else. But aesthetically, sometimes you have to say, wow.
Yeah.
If those aesthetic drives
not
of him
saying
were
that-
to give me another 200 runs from his
I'm
bat
not
by the end of
saying
the
it
season,
equals
I'll keep it.
success.
But yeah.
I mean, Steve Smith that way is winning no contest, right? If it was aesthetic, but he is the most successful test batter. So of course, at the end of the day, it's results, runs, all that.
If
matters.
I may be just tempted to see Prithvi Shaw's batting, the class that he uses, and obviously the returns that have come, do you think it is safe to say he could be the new avatar of Sanjay Manjrekar? Because
Vinod
Manjrekar
Kamli.
Manjrekar played test match cricket.
but
for
his
India.
returns and
Vinod
all that
Kamli.
is
But
significant.
the thing, no, but all of them have played. They got double hundreds in international
Yeah,
cricket.
he got a double hundred
All of that I
Pakistan.
agree. But Prithvi Shaw is a travesty from what he had to not ever even get close to replicating all of that. That is a travesty. Everyone else got chances. I think Sanjay Manjrekar himself, while technically would look amazing, he himself in his book is written.
Yeah.
The reason that he didn't do well because he was so obsessed with technique. He should have been more obsessed with getting runs and the process of getting runs rather than trying to look good or how nice I'm looking in my shot.
And
Because
Prithvi
he
Shaw-
looked good and he was fantastic in the domestic circuit. For that to have such very underwhelming numbers in international
No, but
cricket.
still played with distinction for India for very long.
Yeah.
But look at
8
Prithvi
years.
Shaw. Look at Prithvi Shaw.
Yep.
He should have played. I mean, okay, fine, he may not have gone down as the greatest. I'm not even getting to that, but he should have been a 50, 60 ODI minimum. You know, he should have been a
At least
a
25
30
tests.
Test matches sort of a player. Should have been. With
Yeah,
that.
no
Minimum.
doubt about that.
No, but do you think that it's done and dusted for him?
Where it's going to be now, he's not even in your Duleep Trophy.
Yeah, that I agree. But I feel that with age being on his side, you see again with it's
but
about the mindset also. Don't you
He's
think? that-
what, 25?
No, he's
24,
same
25.
age of Shubman, same batch.
Same batch,
Same
2018
batch,
batch.
So 24.
24,
Yeah.
25,
So,
but time's
one
passing
season-
him by. Time's passing him by. I'm not saying never say never.
Yeah, even I think it's.
But the
time
thing
for
is,
him.
The gulf has
chances
widened
come-
so much.
The chances come if you're in the scheme of things, if you're there and thereabout. If you've just not been included in the top 4 teams that you're making within domestic circuit, you don't even fit into that, then that's alarming.
You know, the problem is another batch has superseded him in 2020, Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yeah.
For the position that he's in. That is the main.
No, but as I said, never say never. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
may
yeah.
come back, fight
Yeah.
for 8 days, that whatever. But he's gone past. Anyway, moving on. We're here for the Bangladesh series. Since we were talking about Delhi boys, let's talk about the 2 Delhi boys in the video that everyone was waiting for, and it was finally premiered this morning by the Board of Control for Cricket in India. Gautam Gambhir,
With the caption reading what? The
Virat Kohli.
biggest interview, what did it say?
Whatever the caption was, never matter. The interview is out. What did you guys make of it? That's more important.
For 19 minutes and 19 seconds when those two were speaking, Gambhir. 19 minutes, 19 seconds. That was the
I thought it should have been 18 minutes, 18 seconds.
week 18. Yeah, but then no, it was 19 minutes.
Trust Siddharth Vishwanathan to figure out.
Yeah.
19 minute, 19 second.
Yeah.
People say, "Arey, this guy is playing cricket after a long time." Siddharth won't say that. Playing after 2,225 days.
So after how many days is Test
Somebody
cricket
would
returning?
say,
I was
this-
expecting you to come up with that, or maybe you will
I
come
said 7 months.
8:45 tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. Siddharth will count us down. You know the number of hours also for us, the number of seconds.
That's
and
how
everything.
we'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And somebody will say, Ishan is not playing well.
He's a Nand Kishore.
Ishan,
No.
Nand Kishore.
IYK, YK.
Full. Anyway, 19 minutes, 19 seconds.
So in that, we all expected that there would be some very interesting things about their feud or something. I thought they would address that also, but then Virat started off by saying putting an end to all the masala that is here. They spoke about Test cricket. They spoke about how important it was to.
There was no masala.
There was no
Whole
masala.
19 minutes, no masala.
There was no masala.
It's
No, but the fact is, you know what I found interesting in that? Fine, you masala or no masala.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting in that is that they are also pretty aware
Yeah.
of what the world thinks of them
about
coming
them.
together.
Yes. They had
So-
that
Yeah,
smirk
I'm sure
when they
both
started.
both of them are as hooked on Instagram as we are. So, and I don't think their
100%.
feed will be very different to
No,
that of
more
ours.
hooked on, as in, I don't think I'm that hooked on Instagram. Are you?
no.
By hooked on, I mean even if you're spending about 40 minutes
The only
during
man
the
I used to see always on Instagram, he's not here at the moment.
yeah,
Always on Instagram.
yeah. But I'm saying
nobody
even
else I've seen on Instagram.
even if you're doing about 35-40 minutes, I believe that's enough for us to know what's happening in the world, which I believe they are doing at least that, or if not more. And us, all of us, I'm putting Gambhir and Virat in the same bracket, being sports nuts that they too are. I'm sure their feed won't be too different from what we see on our phones.
No, I don't think. See, like, I think it's person to person.
Because they find your interest, what you're watching.
Yeah,
But I also feel
yeah.
it's person to person. Like, I just see Instagram for 10 minutes a day. Not more than that. So, I think
what I
even
said,
Virat
isn't it?
Kohli. I
10
don't-
minutes.
Yeah, it's fixed. I don't see Instagram, just Instagram.
Even producer Saran just turned around.
Excellent. Yeah, he's giving us, that's why I'm saying, that's why I like him in the show. Because nobody has insights about players, what they do, what they are thinking, why somebody was dropped, why somebody was picked, who is talking, then Shashwat. So Shashwat is actually telling us, because obviously he has a direct line with Virat, that Virat spends 10 minutes.
No. I'm telling about myself.
No, but he asked you about Virat.
No. I said that it depends person to person.
So that too, we
Yeah,
said it's Virat. But he said, is he spending 10 minutes? You said
No,
yes.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's going on Instagram for 10-15 minutes a day only.
How can you say that with so much surety?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised.
The number is the thing.
Okay, what makes you like, you had some inside knowledge? Like,
No.
But I would say I wouldn't be surprised if I heard about it. How do you know? You ask me that question, I don't know whether Virat is there for 60 seconds a day or 10 hours a day. I don't know.
I was just saying I wouldn't be
Ask him
surprised.
that. I never met somebody but surprised hota hoga. I have an idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Right? Seriously, you have any idea how much time he spends on Instagram?
You can take a guess.
No, but your guess will be based on either like you've
I'm just saying
sat with him for a dinner,
just-
while you were there for 2 hours, you saw him. So with that,
I know he'll obviously be. It's you don't have to spell it out. We know that he's got people to manage his
That's
social
another
media.
thing.
But for the most followed athlete in the country, is he not spending time on the platform on which he's the most followed?
Sure.
He must be.
But
He must be.
It's very tough for us to figure out how much time he's
Yeah.
How much time
I
though?
can't guess.
Unless
You can't.
Unless
You
you,
can't
spent
guess.
like half a day with him one day, and then you figured out कि अच्छा इतने दिन था, so you know.
No, you can still guess by the person, by what you perceive of that
No.
person also.
No,
Yeah.
even that is risky.
No,
We
You
just-
know-
skip face पे लिखा how many times you spent on Instagram.
Can you take a guess? You'll be surprised because you won't
How
be.
will you
able to.
know? Is it written on my face? I don't know. I could spend 10 hours a day, or I could spend 10 minutes. You won't know. In our case, you would still know because you spend a few hours a day
Yes.
with us, so you would have seen us.
Yeah.
But what about somebody who would not spend any time?
I can speak about Saransh right now because that's what he's doing.
Anyway, we are digressing. That's not the time that how much time they spend on Instagram.
It's
My
about
point
Gambhir.
is that when we heard him say
Yeah.
that about masala, he did mention that I want to end all masala.
Yes.
So they do know that there are people out there
Yeah.
that utilize these two gentlemen
Yep.
to create that masala via their memes or reels or I don't know whatever else there is in Instagram. So they're aware of that.
In follow up to that, Gambhir stated, "Wow, that's a great start to the conversation." That is what he stated.
But I just heard it and I just feel it's just too good to be true.
What?
The whole conversation and the whole thing that's going on about the two and all of it. I
You
just
think
feel,
this is posturing?
I don't know. I just don't get the right gut
No,
feeling.
I didn't understand that.
I just feel that it's
Too good to be true, as in they've not made any revelation.
no, they haven't. But I just feel that
Okay,
What
I'll
they should have-
rephrase it. I think what you're you're trying to say that you don't think they're as friendly as it came
Yeah,
across in the video. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Oh, I thought it's too good to be true.
And the sort
that
of
they've actually sat somewhere else and they
no.
AI got
Like they did with the Messi Ronaldo
Oh,
show, remember?
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
But
see,
also he said that the 183 Virat scored one of the best innings ever.
By an Indian,
Gambhir-
yes.
But
By
why-
an Indian.
Why? What do you mean? Too good to be? For example, I'm just saying, they could be anybody that would have had some rivalry on the field or sometime when you're playing. But how many times you've seen cricketers, and many of them, even players who've had issues on the field, when you sit to talk, there are only two human beings that talk. How many times do you see people just not
Ignore,
talk to each other and speak? Like, there have been,
Gavaskar Bedi.
yeah, I mean, very rare one of those, but I'm saying mostly, if you see people, even if you've not, you tend to sit and talk normally. I mean,
Yeah, normally
Is
talking-
that video telling you that they're best friends? Is that the impression that you're getting?
Not the best friends, but yeah, it seems like they are really, really good together and they enjoy each other's. Like I cannot imagine both of them like in a team situation on the ground. Okay, I do understand you are one unit, but once you're out of that field, you can specifically go with some people to go out for dinner. Yeah, I don't
agree.
imagine both of them would be going out for dinner.
Sure,
together.
but
yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
But is that video showing that? For example,
Yeah.
maybe Virat and Jasprit Bumrah also may not go out for dinner together. I don't know. But if they were to record a video together, it'll be like that. Or hypothetically, maybe Rohit and Virat may not go out for dinner together every night. But if they were to record a video, they are obviously going to talk about what he loved about his knock and this. I thought what they did speak about in terms of each other's knocks, I could genuinely see that they admire. For example, Gambhir talking about his
183.
knock in the versus Sri Lanka.
97.
He's talking about the
The
knock
Test
in
cricket also he
Test
talked about
cricket.
it.
Yeah.
He's talking about the knock versus Pakistan. He's talking about the knock in Adelaide, those two back-to-back knocks. So he's talking about all those knocks, and you can clearly see. And in fact, he goes on to mention that it's not that you're sitting here and I'm saying it. You can see some of my videos earlier. I have said that these are. So I don't think there's any, and I don't think anything that they said suggested that now they become best friends. Obviously not. I don't think they're going to be, after the interview finished, ki, "Arey, chalo, let's go have chola bhaturas together."
Sidvi sir had chola
No,
bhaturas
by
on
the
his
way,
off.
wasn't the hatchet buried after the IPL thing? You saw in the Bangalore clash,
Yeah,
they were all
yeah.
cordial. They were warm. They were expressing. There
He
were a lot
went
of
up to
smiles.
him and asked how
Yeah,
is
so
everything at home in the
Why
middle
not?
of the
I mean,
match.
I didn't get that impression that.
But that again, I think even that was a little.
Now
What did you learn from the video? What is one learning for you? Like Saransh, our producer's learning is that there was no masala. He found it boring. Am I correct, Saransh?
Yes, but not that
Okay.
what people were expecting. He started off the chat with ending to put an end to all masalas, but there was nothing.
Okay, so Saransh, who's here, he thought that once it started on that note, he thought a lot of juice will come out. They'll address a lot more things. They did not. So he's slightly disappointed on that front. Yes.
Boring. It was.
You found it boring.
Yeah.
That's the one learning that you had?
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, there is a mutual respect that is there between both Virat and Gambhir, and I think this video only sums it up. That there may have been differences in the past, but they moved on from that.
No, plus you don't have to. For example,
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's one of my learnings, that they have a lot of respect for each other as cricketers.
Yes.
That still doesn't necessarily mean that they have to move on. Whether they have moved on or not is another thing. But I'm saying you could still carry on whatever grudges you have and yet have respect for each other, right? Tomorrow, if you look at any two rivals, again, let's say some that have had a bit of a, let's say Afridi, Gambhir had a bit of a tiff, whatever, maybe not best of friends. But if you were to ask Gambhir about Afridi the cricketer, I'm sure he'll talk a lot of things about Afridi that he admired or liked.
Yeah.
And ditto for Afridi, I'm guessing. That's another thing, that they may not like each other's guts or personalities. They never got along and they'll say, no boss, he can't be my friend. We're not the same type. But I'm sure as cricketers, and for Virat and Gambhir, I can see the respect because they did have those times together on the field.
Yes.
So at least in Gambhir's case, other thing that I liked, just an extension of that, is that I felt, at least with Gambhir and to an extent with Virat, they were very embarrassed to talk about themselves. So if as soon as Virat touched upon a couple of Gambhir innings, he just said one line, he said, listen, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about your innings instead. Don't talk about my innings or there, and they took a reference to that. So that's something that I like, that they were more than happy to talk about each other. Any learnings that you had?
The one part I sort of liked, again, I'll be honest, I didn't see the entirety of it, all 90 minutes. I think I saw about 15 minutes of it. But the one part I liked about both of them was the acknowledgement, the fact that, as players, they've both been volatile players at times. They've had that aggressive side to them, and it's been key to the success of Gautam Gambhir, the cricketer, and Virat Kohli, the athlete, as well. So both of them acknowledging, and in today's day and age where we're all teaching younger generations to have our distance with regards to, or maintain some sort of distance with regards to aggression, not that good in sport, etc., etc. Both of them acknowledging that this is what has driven them, and it's
the confrontation bit, right?
they were able to channelize that aggression into performances for the team. I like that little bit that they had.
The one thing that it got me thinking was in which, by the way, again, Gautam being Gautam, pointed it to Virat. The reason you did so well as a test captain is because of the bowlers that you had.
Yes.
You had the likes of Umesh and Ishant, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, all of them. He spoke about those bowlers. But what I found really interesting in that, it actually got me thinking, and it's a fact. As big a fan I am of an MS Dhoni, I think Indian Test cricket would have, if it wasn't for Virat Kohli, Indian Test cricket would have gone downhill.
Yeah.
It was actually in bad shape, and this is one thing that Gautam mentioned, which is very important. I'm just adding the two things. Gautam Gambhir mentioned about fast bowlers, current fast bowlers. He said my conversation with Jasprit Bumrah and
they
all
just
them,
love bowling.
They want to play red ball cricket.
Yes.
I think that is that one bit that I really like, which to me told me in a way that there had come a phase in Indian cricket, which is true, and I think that's the most important thing. They wouldn't have said it really openly, but also because I was covering Indian cricket up close at that time. They had become a phase where fast bowlers had said, why do we have to be, or at least they were going towards that path where they thought that bowling 20 overs a day is a lot of hard work. Not just fast bowlers, by the way, even spinners, because he later went on to speak about spinners. So this trend, and I'm so happy that this was the one thing that tied them together, Gambhir and Virat, that about Test cricket and them liking Test cricket. And even though they are slightly different generation in that sense, the fact that for Indian cricket, Virat Kohli came in as the Test captain at that age kind of saved Indian Test cricket. Because unfortunately, during that advent of IPL came, and MS Dhoni, as you knew, or you could clearly make out, Test cricket wasn't really his favorite format. So you saw fast bowlers being chained left, right and center. There wasn't any consistency. You were actually looking to just, allow the game to drift, longer, flatter pitches. You were just allowing the game to drift. There comes in a Virat Kohli, which was there in Indian cricket before that. I'm looking back at captains before that, till about Rahul Dravid, you had Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, till that stage where Test cricket was the ultimate. It saw a dip under MS Dhoni for sure. Now the next captain could have changed the future of Indian cricket had it been similar. And had he also given more focus to white ball, it would have anyway allowed all bowlers that were getting comfortable, getting big fat paychecks in IPL or white ball cricket, where you were getting the fame, the love, the sponsorship, everything with just bowling 4 overs in a match, or at best 10 over in a match. Why work hard? That culture had come in, and bowlers not playing domestic cricket, pulling out all of that. Thank God that Virat Kohli came at that time where he put that effort, and so Test cricket then started seeing an upswing, which has continued. And thankfully now you have a coach in Gambhir and a Rohit Sharma who's giving that kind of leverage to Test cricket. So I think that is a very important point that Gautam highlighted about bowlers and kind of letting us read between the lines and giving us an idea that there was a stage it was going to dip, and then crediting the bowlers for Virat's rise as Test captain. That was, I think, one of the most...
The kind of bowlers MS Dhoni liked and the kind of bowlers Virat actually got in, there was a very big difference in both the things there. So I think those were the kind of fast bowlers you actually needed in Test cricket to move ahead.
See, under Dhoni, the bowlers that were there, so sure, Bumrah hadn't come in, Shami was raw and Umesh was raw. they became the finished product until Virat's aggressive captaincy.
But I think Virat played a very big role.
Of course, no one is denying that at all. I mean,
I'm just forgetting this one stat that I once read, and I think in one of the two WTC cycles that have ended, India had picked the most wickets, and India became a force over all these years where picking 20 wickets in a test match became a thing for given. Whenever the Indian team was playing, and you have to credit Virat Kohli for that, for enabling the fast bowlers enough, for giving the confidence enough to take the fight to the opposition, because for as long as we can remember, 20 wickets in a test match weren't given for any Indian side until we saw this one phase where we really dominated and our bowlers would save us or win us matches much more.
I mean, that one statement in Virat's captaincy summed it up in that England series. Give them hell.
Hell for 60 overs and you won that match.
Lots. It was white heat, that has been generated. I mean, the bowlers were really upping their game and you won a memorable test match. That was peak Virat captaincy.
Not just that, I think the culture of fitness also changed a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Then for Indian test cricket in general also. And Virat definitely, in test cricket, I don't think there's been anyone
That
better
is
as
what
a captain.
Gambhir acknowledged.
Yeah.
Virat's captaincy and the statements that he's made about test cricket has ensured your next generation of players acknowledge the importance of red ball cricket.
He understood that you cannot be taking 20 wickets with the kind of bowlers you had previously. So he sort of developed the new bowlers and in his own way. And that really helped Indian test cricket.
Talking about importance on red ball cricket, we that day sat and spoke about Hardik Pandya. Could it be a one-off moment that red ball in his hand? He'd put an Instagram story. I believe he's put a tweet today where he's put multiple pictures. Shashwat said that is just one-off.
Yeah.
He's put multiple pictures, my friend, today, all with red ball.
Yep.
Bowling, batting, everything. If this is not sending out a message, then I don't know what it is. Only red ball. So now, 2 days in a row, there cannot be shortage of white ball. Now he's Hardik Pandya. He can afford white balls. Now. He can afford a full team to travel with him. Clearly, he can afford.
Yeah.
That could be a one-off. The fact is, he's practicing in England, if I'm not mistaken, with a red ball, and he's found the need to put those images once again. Take it from me.
BGT plus
you
WTC
are
final.
seeing him play Test match this upcoming season.
BGT plus WTC
In the
final.
5, now let's
Upcoming season is 10 Test matches.
Yeah, but will you just straight away take him to
Wherever he
Australia?
is.
So are you seeing him
I am
playing the
not
Ranji Trophy?
Getting
Maybe.
into the modalities,
Okay.
but I am ready to bet that you are going to see
Have you
Hardik
talked to
Pandya,
someone?
Hardik Pandya playing.
Of course, there's
No, if
something
you're saying with
happening.
this much
Of
surety,
course, there
then
is
so-
something happening that is not being pronounced yet because it doesn't happen like the way it's happening on social media.
Yeah.
Otherwise, see, everything aligns. Let's just go back around the month of June, July last year, where we were all talking about the return of KL Rahul. Remember Shreyas Iyer as well, both coming after injury. What is it? How did we learn that they're nearing and it's about to happen? People questioned how KL Rahul was just paratrooped into the Asia Cup squad, but he was, and he played in the 11 and he won you matches there as well. So there was no match practice and anything, but the team believed in him, and he was the. We only got to know things from social media. KL Rahul was telling us about his recovery on social media.
No, the
Talk
thing
to
is,
somebody.
No.
Yeah. Definitely.
see, the thing is,
I rely on Shashwat. Whatever.
No.
This
I
time-
don't.
They said he's not playing. So
No. If you
But
would,
did he
if
say
you,
that there's actually positive?
no, he said no chance.
No, because the day he put this, put
he's
that.
saying today also.
No.
Forget that day.
I'm saying that day he put that reel. The next day, once we started the dugout, he put a reel with white ball. The next day itself. So
you know the thing.
But is there
Why
a
is he
change?
good with red
Is
ball?
there a change
Again.
of heart now?
I
Even
you
if
have to say what you believe.
even if it.
And let him say.
I don't know. See, again, I cannot.
Achha, because Shashwat's been doing a lot of research on red balls. Which ball is he training with?
This is the Duke's ball only.
He's in England. He's picked up the red ball, and I don't think you need anything more to look beyond what Gautam Gambhir, your coach, was saying today.
Yeah.
He just
kept
needs to
talking
color his
about
pads
Test
a bit.
ball cricket. He just said how important it is.
Correct.
For him as a player, I'm sure he's going to continue that as a coach. It's no surprise that players have been sent to Duleep Trophy to play. India badal raha hai. Because I can see.
See, the
No,
thing
but
is,
then when are we seeing
This
him?
is,
maybe in the one test of the New Zealand series, somewhere there, in order to warm himself up for the BGT
This is
also.
Viksit Indian cricket team.
See, again, I don't want to run through what I've said earlier, that you would need a Hardik Pandya, right, in the season coming up as a fast bowling all-rounder. I don't know if anybody was speaking to him when he decided not to play. Somebody needed to speak to him, get an idea, because again, what had happened at certain time, you agree or not, that players were left to decide if they were available, they were playing, they were not available. I think now conversations have happened and we've got enough indications, whether it's from the coach, chairman of selectors, BCCI secretary, everyone, where now BCCI started saying that, listen, you cannot be picking and choosing, we will. We will tell you we need you for this. You're contracted players. We see a value in you for doing this. You please make yourself available. That's another thing, if you're playing, you get injured.
Yep.
That's not the player's fault. That's the headache that BCCI has to take. But then I have to now look at their resources. It's like we are all working in an office and we have a group of employees. All of us can't decide what I want to do today, what my utility is, and you will decide. As soon as we just keep deciding, we'll pull in different directions.
Anarchy.
There has to be somebody to tell us what our utility is, and all of us has to be told that for you I see this, you have to do. For you, you have to do this. Similarly, and that has to come from the top. As soon as you leave it, you decide what you're best at, right? So Shashwat will decide that he only wants to do videos. He's not going to produce a show. Can be, right? Then who's going to produce? Hypothetical, right?
True.
Somebody can say, I'm only good to make social media reels. I'm not going to come and take out footage and put. So
Somebody, the same social media team is traveling to England also.
No, this doesn't look like a great effort to do it. Nah. If it was a fancy reel with lots of edits, then this so anybody can click a picture. This so net bowler, if you were there bowling in the nets, you could also click this picture.
No, but if you are seeing with 100% surety,
I'm
then
not saying anything
yeah,
for 100%.
but then that means you have talked to somebody.
No, bhaiya,
The
Regarding
chances
it.
brighten. That all we can. That
I
chances
am saying
brighten.
the only one who's saying with 100% surety is you saying
No,
he
no,
will not
no.
play.
I don't again.
See, things are falling into place because
Him coming back in Test cricket.
Yeah.
See, again, I'm not.
Trophy season is now split in two phases.
But I'm still not a very big fan of this decision, even if it's happening, because I feel you do not need to call somebody after so much, and you don't need to run after somebody to play for the Test team. That's
It's not about
exactly.
running about somebody. It's not about running.
No, but
behind
the
somebody.
Indian captain very clearly in the England series said after winning that we are only going to play players who are desperate to play the red ball format, and Hardik is definitely not one
how
of
you
them.
can go. Then that way, if you leave it to everyone will do what they
It's not a patthar ki lakhir.
No,
at
but
this
then
point in time.
I'm saying that those weren't the statements that should have come
a
at
lot
that
of
point.
statements were made.
Maybe right now the communication is that listen, there's a change of course over here, and for you to be recognized as an A grader or an A plus grader, contract holder, whatever it is, we're looking at reshaping Indian cricket, and you can't be picking and choosing things anymore. We believe you. We have the potential. You have the potential. We see that potential in you. Yes, it was a decision, but you made a strong recovery. These guys have reports about whether medically also it's possible for a player or not to take certain workload. So the BCCI is very well aware, and maybe that's the communication that listen, we know you're doing fine, and we're another 6 months. You keep working the way it is. But if you see a future for yourself over here, this is how it's going to be. No more of nitpicking. We tell you this is doable, so you try and do this.
And you'll play him the BGT before the Champions Trophy. Yeah.
You can. I mean, not all. Because you have to get back into some kind of red ball rhythm. Huh? The Ranji Trophy is happening in 2 phases. So he will get
5 matches first, then the white ball, and then.
Baroda will want to try him out. So why not?
That too, he will only decide if he wants to play, he'll walk into
If he
the.
wants to try out Baroda or not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're doing. Correct. Okay. Let
That's
us
exactly what he'll
try and
do.
answer the question that we'd asked on the dugout. The Bangladesh challenge begins from tomorrow. What do you reckon? Is India too good for Bangladesh, or no? There is, a serious threat coming from Bangladesh. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. But I just feel that we're just talking about the spin bowling so much. I'm just a little if you're just undermining their fast bowlers also. So I think their fast bowling could also be a challenge for the Indian batters. But definitely India too, there would be moments in the test match, many moments I feel, where you would see Bangladesh ahead in the test match. But all in all, I think India definitely, because of the quality India has, someone or the other will step up.
India start as the favourites, but Bangladesh will be no pushovers as they were in 2019. It will be a tough fight. But I think the quality of this Indian batting and bowling lineup, and that too at home, makes them favourites. I think Bangladesh will give them a threat, but not a serious one.
Yeah, like 2 test matches. We like seeing test matches in pies and all. When we do the session by session split, I don't see them winning more than 2 pies. I think it's going to be India's. Again, you saw a little bit of
full test match
in the series. I'm saying.
Wow, that is
no, that's very.
I agree with it, right?
No, that's mean 3 pies, 3 pies a day in the whole test.
I don't see them winning at best, let's say 4 pies across 2 test matches, because again, if an England could only challenge you to a certain extent after all the talk about baseball and all, yes, there were some good knocks here and there that we saw from England as well. But are they better than an England side that visited us 6 months back? I don't think so. So I'm very confident about India making easy work.
So, in fact, Saransh, producer, also says that no, it's going to be one-sided, one-way traffic, no challenge. I mean, of course, there's no doubt. If you ask me who's the favorite, India clear favorites. Completely agree. There's a bigger gulf between India and Bangladesh compared to in India and Australia and in India and England that came visiting. India far better, but you also will see pitches change, not the kind of pitches that you saw for that England and Australia series. All I'm saying is that for Bangladesh, it's a big start nonetheless. The fact that we are even discussing them as challengers, because quite frankly, they've underachieved in their 2 decades of test tenure that they've had so far, barring a win here or there. Plus, I'm not reading too much into the Pakistan series because Pakistan's really going through a slump right now. But the fact that Bangladesh is being considered, truth be told, if I'm just looking at their squad, I think this is the most well-rounded Bangladesh squad that I've seen in years. They've got everything covered. They've got good batters, multiple batters. They've got good all-rounders, good fast bowlers. All of those things that they could cover, they have it covered. So they, earlier previous Bangladesh team really had big gaping holes. I don't see that, which is a start. But yeah, for any team, the fact that India has not lost a test series in more than a decade right now, so that just in itself tells you it's next to impossible for any team to come and beat you, much less a team like Bangladesh, which is still not the peak. But will they give you a scare here and there? Possible. You could have a situation where India are on their ropes, but of course India's experience will come through. Somebody plays a good knock. Also, there could be a situation where on a certain, not always, but you are 40 for 4 could be, but then a couple of hundreds come your way and you get 400, right?
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Or 40 for 3, even that in itself can sometimes, and that can happen and they have the firepower.
That could happen tomorrow morning also.
Exactly.
First session.
Never know. But overall, that's the beauty about a test match. The better team always wins because you have a next inning, slowly and gradually you recover and the better team will win. And I think the biggest factor, I can't say it enough, is Jasprit Bumrah. I think is a huge difference. Take Jasprit Bumrah out of that equation and it becomes a much closer contest. India still clearly favorites, but becomes closer with Jasprit Bumrah. You know that, okay, even if you buy rare collapse or something, with him, he can even out things very quickly. The other team will also have a
He will again.
Many Bangladeshi batters won't be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If they are batting tomorrow against Jasprit Bumrah.
But still they won't.
If they're bowling, then...
What if they get to bat first tomorrow and get funded out by lunch or...
possible.
Possible.
I think it's possible.
But India also, not by lunch, but yeah, you never know.
Never. Okay, let's take...
we just got to know you were in BLF Mall last Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, Tanish call says... No, it wasn't last. I think it was much earlier than that. Yeah. I had to go, my daughter needed new tennis shoes, her ones had become small. So Tanishq says he met me last Saturday. He feels, hi Tanishq, hope you're well. He says, I think there should have been a backup opener in the squad, and the best option is Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think we discussed that a lot about backup opener. I think with the squad that you have, they know pretty much who their openers are. No point carrying another opener in a home series. You can always pull another opener. The second thing is, if it happens on the eve of the game, by chance, you always have the option of pushing a Gill up because your middle order batters are enough. So they all fill in. I think that's what the Indian team is going for. If the problem arises well in advance, you can always call in an opener also on a short call, right? Take a flight, come. Okay, Anshu says, sir, in KBC this question was asked in the previous week, worth 50 lakh rupees. Which Indian woman won silver and bronze at the Asiad in javelin throw 50 years before Neeraj won gold? She quit the question.
Yeah, it was in 1970.
In the para game.
70.
You just need to tell the name, you don't need to tell which year. Just the
Asia.
name.
Asiad.
But he said Asiad.
Asiad. In the 1970 Asiad. Oh,
Sid GBD, come on.
that has to.
Women won silver
Not
and
loading.
bronze at the Asiad in javelin.
An Indian. Yeah, must have been. I mean, we did win medals.
You don't
there.
know this answer?
No wonder it
Sudhir
was
sir?
a 50 lakh
It was a 50 lakh question.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Let me just. Oh, you can take. I'll just check for my own knowledge. I don't know.
Thanks for that question, Anshu.
Yeah.
Rahul says, watch out for Cameron Green in the BGT. He's going to be a superstar in the making. Mark Mahmood, that's true actually. It's actually, I mean, to be fair, it's actually because of Cameron Green in the squad that you pushed Steve Smith to open. Now, the whole thing happened because of that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Steve Smith is not going to open. That's for sure.
You could have Cameron Green to open.
But I think he'll bat middle order. But you're right, he has the potential to be here.
Because nobody
match.
else.
But with this experiment, Steve Smith experiment having gone wrong,
No, Green won't open.
yeah, he's saying Green would open.
Yeah, I'm saying Green could open. Who would then?
I don't know. Get Head to open. Khwaja and Head.
Khwaja Head,
Not a bad option though.
yeah.
But I don't think Head is in the thought process.
Smith, Labuschagne, these
Smith number 4, I feel.
Yeah,
Smith
Labuschagne
shouldn't be
3,
changed.
Smith 4.
Yeah.
I think it would be Green.
Marsh.
I think Head is better at 5. Unless.
Green to open.
Yeah,
Or,
Green to open.
yeah, even I feel Green.
Green
to-
/ Marsh. That is
No,
the
Marsh to.
Tallest opener in history.
No, Peter Fulton, New Zealand.
Yeah, but
2 meter Peter.
But-
I think Green is
Green
shorter
is
than
shorter?
him. Yeah.
Pukowski would have opened. But he.
Tata, bye bye.
How can somebody be so unlucky? I never
Yeah,
understand that.
career's gone. Finished.
I
Finito.
know.
Tata, bye bye. Sad.
Any of the West Indies guys, I think Greenwich and Haynes weren't that tall.
No.
Weren't that
Not at
tall.
all. Not at all. Pretty sure.
Hayden was
Yeah, was tall.
was quite tall. So that way.
pretty tall. Yeah.
And oh man. So
Yeah.
Biggest opener, yes. Not the tallest.
tallest I think is Peter Fulton, if I'm not mistaken. He was called 2 meter Peter.
Fleming
But he was never an opener in tests, no?
in tests.
Test cricket.
Test Kirkat. Yeah. Sarat Chandra, Sidvi sir, wanna ask who are Australia's bowlers after the top 4? Because they have good fitness, they play all, so no backup. Isn't that a concern? No one tested till now there. Is their future good after 2 to 3 years?
Scott Boland is.
No, Boland is again, age is not on the side, no? He's 35. There is Michael Neser, there is, you got one guy who
Ellis.
Nathan Ellis,
No,
I
but
don't know
again,
whether
not a
he's
red
more
ball.
white
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, more of white.
There is this Lance Morris from Western Australia
Fast.
who's fast. But apart from that, the problem is New South Wales haven't been doing well. And that's where the laboratory of all good players come from. They say, na, if England and India
They had
do
this
well,
one in the under 19 World Cup also. I don't
Mali
know.
Beardman.
Yeah.
Beardman is there
Beardman,
as a
yeah.
cover up for
He's playing.
as a cover for the Australia ODIs. But again, he's too
He was the
raw.
player of the match in the final.
Correct. Good pace.
Yes.
Mali Beardman. So yeah.
Sachin Kashyap.
What do you expect from the pitch in Chennai? Red or black soil? And do you see Kuldeep Yadav in playing 11 and should India bat first if they win the
Good,
toss?
Sachin, we answered this question right at the start.
It's a red soil wicket.
So red soil pitch and who we expect. Go check out the discussion. We spent
And bat first.
10-15 minutes.
Yes.
You know?
I think you should bat first.
Okay, future IITian saying, Nikhil sir, GG credits VK for making Pacers. Not said VK won due to Pacers. Today VK again, yeah, I mean it's an extension of that. He said that he was lucky enough for having those many Pacers. Today VK again praised Jasprit Bumrah and Bumrah showed arrogance. JB should respect VK as he's the fittest. Never know what. He praised Jasprit Bumrah for sure, but where did he show arrogance?
No, he said Bumrah showed.
Bumrah showed arrogance.
He never showed
They're
that.
going back to that.
No. They took it out of context. I think they were just.
And he is the fittest, never been to NCA.
Raj is very touchy about certain things.
Yeah, he's when he suffered that shoulder injury in BGT, he didn't go to
I would have
NCA.
100% been. Yeah. There are pictures of him.
At the NCA?
Yes.
Because I think when he suffered that shoulder injury, remember after the third test in Ranchi,
Yeah.
I think he did go for treatment.
But there was a
afterwards.
time when
I
many
think
players didn't even go to the NCA.
That's a different story altogether.
AS says, watch out for Surya Kumar Yadav in Dilip Trophy tomorrow.
Yes.
Gambhir era.
I personally don't like this all format thing.
But your personal opinion will not be so.
No, it won't even work, what I feel.
No, if he gets runs, then.
No, if he gets runs, that's fine, but you cannot, this all three format thing is not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Shakib left the county thing and reached here?
Yeah, he reached on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
He reached on Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
He went to play. Sometimes he goes to Bangladesh for practice in between the World Cup. Here he went for
He's a
county.
law unto himself.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Maradona.
He went
He's
to.
bigger than.
He's bigger than everything, everyone.
Okay, Amo is saying, sir, your views. Yashasvi Jaiswal is not that good against Pacers and red ball. He takes a lot of deliveries before settling in. He has struggled against South Africa and England Pacers in the initial spell. He only charges spinners first.
See,
It's going to be a test for him, for sure.
This series? No?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I mean not this series, but the season as
The
such.
season.
Especially Australia. Though I think the pitches will suit him, but
Yeah.
again, the South Africa series everyone remembers where he really didn't get going. So
yeah, I mean the extra
Especially the
bounce,
extra bounce, yeah.
Especially
But
not
those
the
were
bounce.
very juicy wickets. You're not going to get those that much juice
Only
in
in
Australia.
two. Only in two. Optus and Adelaide. Adelaide because
Adelaide
pink
you-
ball, you'll have to, it'll swing in the lights and the pitch is much more conducive at that time.
But that ping ball isn't the same ping ball you got in India.
yeah, but that pink ball also 36
Yeah.
36.
36 all out, yeah. So that's
is
why.
also not a good pink ball.
Talk about not getting sleep before playing that test match.
No, but Nathan Lyon cannot sleep, na? Thinking about Jaiswal. That's what he said at least.
Chale,
Yes.
anything you want to say, Shashwat?
There's somebody else also upstairs I know who won't be getting sleep tonight. Because Shashwat's given an open challenge of hitting them. Rather, two people I know.
No,
who's-
one. I know just one.
He's challenged people that he's going to smack them for, 3 boundaries? 3 sixes.
That's a different thing. Just one person.
You can do it. I have no reason to doubt it.
Class doesn't leave despite retirement.
You're not retired.
But former?
Test cricket.
Test cricket I've retired. Rest is left.
Chalo.
2 format player.
Bye bye. See you guys. Take care. Do give us a like in the video. It always means a lot to us. Look forward to your company in the test match. As we mentioned, 8:45 is the start tomorrow.
13 hours,
Really
2 minutes
getting
to
up
go.
for a busy.
13 hours, 2 minutes to go. Yeah, simple.
Chole Bhature, Sidhvi sir, your Chole
Oh,
Bhature
please,
experience.
No.
Again, I will have to use that analogy.
But he had it.
It involves
Yesterday.
ginger.
And
So let's leave it.
Manda deko toku thai, manne neki mando thai. Simple.
Can you translate
Translation is, I mean, you can try and try, but it can never adjust well with me. Oh, I can try.
No, don't try.
Yeah, found it out the hard way.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.